Life is a never-ending series of tests and battles. The best thing you can do is prepare for the future battle, because you can be sure as you are that the sun will rise, that a battle will come. I guarantee you that life you dream of with no problems doesn't exist, because if you ever do find that life, it is torturous.
Every single man of value went through trauma. It's going to be painful to get strong, painful to get rich. Your heart's going to get broken a bunch of times. You have to be prepared for the pain. If you're not ready for pain, you're never going to be anything that matters.
Like I said, I am glad for everything that happened to me. I wouldn't change a thing. I thank God for all of it. So truthfully, I think I'm lucky, I've been blessed. The reason I talk about these things is not to tell people I've had a hard life. It's to make it clear to people who are complaining about their own lives that the bad things that are happening to you are what you need to become the man that you want to be. I can't talk about women because I'm not one. I actually think trauma is terrible for women because it masculinizes them. They become cold. And that's not attractive, right? We want feminine, pure, protected women. I don't want a woman to ever go through anything bad in her life. I think a man should go through it for her and protect her, because I think that's how she's her best self as a woman. But I think to be your best self as a man is the absolute opposite. And when someone emails me and says, "This has happened to me," I'm like, good. How else are you going to become important? How else are you going to find endless fire to get up and struggle in the face of the competition that's out here in the world? You're going to do all that with a nice, cushy life? If any man's honest with himself, think about the biggest transformative stages in your life. Think about the times you got the most work done. It was a bad part of your life. You were heartbroken, or, you lost a house, or broke, or whatever. That's when you did shit. When everything was fine, it's kind of doop-de-doop-de-doo, little by little, do a little bit of work, do a little bit of relax. But the big events come from trauma. It's a cheat code. It's a cheat code to climb the mountain. So when I get a message from whoever and he goes, "My wife left me, I'm devastated," I say, I understand. I completely understand how hard it can be to lose a woman that you've given your entire life to. If you're truly heartbroken, my friend, and we've all been there as men, you better hit the gym. You have nothing else to do. Stop watching YouTube. Stop emailing me. I want pictures of you in the gym. Get to fucking work. Heartbreak's a fantastic motivator, as is depression, as is sadness. Great. Look at what's pissing you off and make sure it never happens again. If you were jacked and rich as fuck, she probably wouldn't have left your ass. So get your shit together. Trauma is such an important part of being a man. And the Matrix talks of trying to say that trauma is terrible and avoid trauma, or if you get trauma, take a pill, and that's unrealistic. Trauma's going to happen to you, and you as a man need to internalize it, accept it, and weaponize it to become the best version of yourself you can be. And that requires mental strength and stoicism. You need to get very comfortable and very used to the idea of understanding that on your path to greatness, there are going to be long periods of time where you hate what you are doing, where you are dissatisfied with the actions you must undertake, where you are tired, where you are stressed. That is why most people won't make it. If the path was easy, everybody would walk it and it would lead nowhere. 100 people start the path, 99 fall off because it is difficult, and the one person who makes it to the end gets the gold. If all 100 made it to the end and the gold was divided by 100, it wouldn't even be worth anything. The difficulty gives it value. The fact that it is difficult to do is the key component into the fact you want it in the first place. If it wasn't difficult, everyone would have it and you wouldn't want it because no one would respect it. It's supposed to be hard. Life is supposed to be hard. You're supposed to think this is terrible and smile through the pain regardless. Discipline is the key to success in all realms as a man. And if you lack it, you stand no chance. You can give most people a roadmap to success. You can give them a Ferrari with a full tank of gas, and a lot of people still wouldn't make the destination because they would say the drive is too far away. There are duties that men must fulfill, whether to God or to your bloodline. Your own father's ashamed of you, and you don't even feel fucking motivated to do shit. If you were to go and look your father in the eye and said, "You know what, I could have been a UFC champion, I could have been a multimillionaire, I could have been a race car driver, I could have been a fucking nuclear physicist, could have done all these things, but I was busy on Pornhub." You think he's gonna be proud of you? As good as I am, I still push myself to the limit every single fucking day. I have every single thing a man could possibly want. I'm still pushing myself. This is your prerogative as a man, but you need to be instilled with a sense of duty to your bloodline. You must want it. You need to want it deep inside your soul. I can't die as anything less than emperor. I think all men are born with a masculine desire to conquer Earth. And I think you're only going to be happy if you're conquering. But if you're living a semi-comfortable life and your mother is nice to you and you're not under any pressure and the Matrix is telling you it's fine to just be average, well, then you're going to be sitting there being average. I was never comforted. I was never given an easy life. I never had anyone in my life who was saying, don't worry, Andrew, it's okay. I was told the opposite all the time. I don't know if the fire inside of me is any bigger than it is inside of every other man. And I think that every man at home watching this, if they don't have the things they want in life, should feel a degree of resentment towards themselves or disappointment, understanding that they have the same desire and drive that I have. They just allowed themselves to be psyoped out of it. They've allowed the Matrix or whoever to convince them it's okay to not be the man they could be. And I never allowed anybody to do that to me. And there's a lot of men out there, especially in the world today, who only want to do things because they feel a certain way, not understanding that that doesn't make them competitive. And I think that the correct mental model for men to have is a degree of stoicism and not to be too concerned with even how they feel. If I woke up today happy, I would have done this interview with you. If I woke up today sad, I would have done this interview with you. What's the difference? Why put so much importance on my emotion if certain things must be done? I must work, I must train, I must resist the Matrix. I've got things to do. So why are we going to sit around and talk about how I feel if it doesn't even affect how I act? And as a man, it shouldn't, because there's too much to do. And the masculine world is hyper competitive. All the women want a few men at the top. It's hyper competitive. So if you're competing against every other man for every dollar you make, every girl you see, the house you live in, the car you drive, the life you live, you're not going to be able to compete with the person who performs regardless of how they feel if you only compete when you feel like competing.
Making things happen is the masculine essence to how you should approach the world. Women hate when something happens to a man. They like when a man happens to things. If you're a man, you sit there and go, oh my God, it's so cold and it rained on me. A woman's going to think you're gay. And she's right. A real man, he will go out there and do and happen to things. He won't have things happened to him. He doesn't take things because that's feminine. So you're here trying to take things from the universe, whether they are good or bad. That is feminine. You need to go and you need to give to the universe. You need to give. And then there will be a reflection and equal and opposite force, Newton's third law, and you will be monumentally rewarded. You have to go and get things. You have to show that you deserve them. And you should be very careful when you talk in general, especially around women, talking about things happening to you. So I could say to a woman, the Romanians locked me up and put me in jail and took all my cars. Instead, I say, I told the truth against the Matrix, and they feared me, so they counterattacked. I did it to them. They didn't do shit to me. I did it to them. And when they counterattacked, I used it as an opportunity to do more push-ups than ever before. I've never done so many daily push-ups in jail. And I became a more formidable opponent. I became a better version of myself. So who won? I'm still breathing. I'm still renowned. I'm still alive. Who won here? I won. I got to explore a brand new level of the map. I got a brand new experience. I got to build further on my mental fortitude. Where's the loss? What did I lose? Some money? You're not strong. You don't love anybody. If you love your women and you love your children, you're strong. If you sit and say, I love them, but I'm tired. Don't love them that much. Men are based on their utility. We are based on what we can do for others. That's what we're based on. And if you're weak, you don't have utility. Because the essential and most important utility as a man is to resist enslavement. And weak people can't. That's why weak leaders are the worst. You can't be a good friend to any other man if you're weak. Because you can have the best of intentions for me. When push comes to shove, you can either do nothing or will sell me out. What else can you do? Weakness is the most disgusting thing on a man. Women know it. Women smell it. There's a reason they love strong men. And I really believe if you love anybody, you're going to try your very best to become strong. That's not just physically. It's mentally, it's financially, it's in all ways. But all of them are important. I see people on Twitter who have a body like mine and they're on steroids when I'm not. And that's their whole personality. And I see people on Twitter who have money less than me and that's their whole personality. And I see people on Twitter who get girls
and that's their whole personality. And I see people on Twitter who are famous, this whole person. I tick every box, and I'm constantly pushing all the time because I know that I get to show more love to the people I care about, the better I become. My love has utility.
You ever seen a flea? One of the smallest insects. But for his height, a flea can jump, has a 36-inch vertical. The average person can't do that. If you capture the flea and you put him in a mayonnaise jar and you put the lid on it, so here he go. He start jumping, but he gonna hit himself on that lid. But after a while, after getting knocked down so many times, the flea makes an adjustment. He got 36 vertical, but since this lid is on, his environment got him now jumping nowhere near what he can. Them fleas have babies, so now guess what? The flea is born with a 36-inch vertical, but because he see his mama and daddy jumping just barely to the roof, you know what he do? He duplicates that behavior. Until you take the top off of your mayonnaise jar, you're gonna duplicate your surroundings. If you take an oak tree seed and you put it in a 2-foot pot, will never become the oak tree that oak trees are capable of becoming. Now check this out. Ain't nothing wrong with the seed. The seed just fell prey to the environment. You are a seed from God. Don't you allow your environment to dictate the oak tree that you become. Get away from these people that's in your life that ain't doing nothing. Get away from them. I had to do it. When I told everybody I was getting into comedy, man, you can't get into comedy. You ain't even funny. How you gonna make money telling jokes? I never gave up. Cause I dreamed so big. I want so big because the God I serve is big. Man, you owe yourself something. Go be free. Go see what God got for you. Oh, Steve, that's easy for you to say. You rich. Hell, did you hear me? I lived in a car for 3 years. Just jump. Go see what God got for you. Quit sitting here in your life posturing like it's okay.
Don't ask for security. Ask for adventure. Better to live 30 years full of adventure than 100 years safe in the corner.
Now here's why you should take the chance. Name me one time God has not pulled you through. If he ain't pulled you through it, he's currently pulling you through it right now. And the reason I know I'm telling the truth is because you're sitting in here. When he wakes you up, it's because he ain't through with you yet. He got something else for you. So why don't you go see what that is? I'm a hood dude with no education. The mess around got to the top of the TV world, and I'm telling you, I was homeless and lived in a car, and I ain't got no education.
Are you under the shade of what someone spoke over you, told you what you couldn't do? Are you under the shade of intimidation, afraid to step out in faith? Do you have friends that are blocking your growth? What could you become if you got out from under that shade? The good news is the potential is still in you. You just have to get out from under that shade. There's nothing wrong with you. Quit thinking about all the things you've done wrong, living in regrets. When you live guilty, you're in agreement with the enemy. He'd love for you to go through life feeling wrong about yourself. He'll do his best to keep you in the shade. There's always some reason to be down on ourselves. You have to put your foot down and say, no thanks, I'm not living under that shade. People may have disqualified you, but people don't determine your destiny. God does, and he never disqualifies you. God still has a purpose for you to fulfill. You wouldn't be alive unless he had something awesome in front of you. Start believing again. Start dreaming again. One thing that can easily stunt our growth is the people that we're spending time with. Are they making your life better, or are they causing you to compromise, be mediocre, take the easy way out? The scripture says, don't hang around angry people or you will become angry. If you want to know what you're going to be like in 5 years, look at your friends. Do yourself a favor, find some new friends. Spirits are transferable. If your friends are critical, that critical spirit will end up on you. How high could you rise if you weren't being shaded by compromise? I know you love your friends, but your destiny is too great to hang around people that are not adding to your life.